Ernesto,
Hey, Dexter, how you
hey, I
doing?
got Linda Sam on the call. She says she can't get in the meeting through Eventbrite. Did you send her a message, a link to get in?
Oh,
Can you
okay.
send her-
I can
Check
text her
your
right.
email in a second, Linda Sam. He's gonna resend something to you. A one-click option is always good to get in the meeting. She's coming on in a minute.
Okay, let me text her right now.
Hello, Deanna, are you back in town?
Hello, I am back and leaving again today.
Oh my goodness, you are busy.
I know. Yeah, so I'll be back again on Sunday.
Okay, so no beach day for you tomorrow, huh? Not with
No.
us, at least.
Yeah, the kids are in Texas as well, so we're all over the place.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
What is Linda's phone number?
Linda Sam,
Linda's son, yeah, what is her phone number?
you want her phone number?
To text her. You want me to text her or want you to email her?
Email her.
Oh, okay, I'll email her.
I'll shoot you over her email, her phone number, just so you can have it.
Yes, I'll email her.
Okay, so like I said, you all, the one click option to get into the meeting, the day of the meeting, if you're using Eventbrite, that's cool. But again, when you send the folks the reminders, the one click option to get you in the meeting is the
Did you
best
get
way.
that email, Dexter? Because
I got it.
I said it
I
to
got
send an email 20 minutes before the meeting and 5 minutes
I
before.
got it. I'm on. I'm here. I got it. I got it. I'm saying, I don't know if she got it or got confused with it, but
I see. So I think maybe we should just start. There she goes. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great afternoon. Please introduce yourself in the chat. Put your information, your name, what business you do, any contact info you might want us to know. And we're gonna start our Trying to Hustle Your Business webinar. So there's a series of 3 webinars, and this is our first one that we're doing today. So it's Trying to Hustle Your Business, and it's about going legal. And we started this because of we noticed a trend with the pandemic, with the 10 million jobs that were lost because of the pandemic. But at the same time, there was a trend of over 40% increase of new business applications. So that's an indicator that a lot of people that lost their jobs or they don't want to go back to their regular job, their 9 to 5, became entrepreneur, chased their passions, and now, or they already had a hustle and they started making a little bit more money off that. So now we're coming off the pandemic. It's time to start legalizing your business. Or maybe if you've been in business for a while and you're not sure if you're in the right business formation, if you don't have the right business license, business insurance, a lot of businesses also didn't reap the benefits that the government gave us during the pandemic because we didn't have those in place. So this would be a good position for you to learn, get a few pointers, and be in the right position. So when you need to get this funding, or you need to get a government contract, you'll be right on track to receive those. So this series is brought to you by the LA South Chamber of Commerce. I think most of you guys are members. I think we have a few that are not, but if you're not a member, please go to lasouthchamber.com and look into the chamber and look into being a member. It's a great benefit for anybody that's starting a business. It's going to give you a lot of resources that we all need as small business owners. And also in partnership with my company, 907K Marketing, we do, and Beauty and Brains LLC with Deanna Gibson. So let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is give an opportunity to one volunteer to give an elevator speech. So before we go through all the components, see, we're giving them the answers already.
Oh, yeah.
So before we go through,
let's start sharing here so we can talk.
Yeah, before we go through what we feel would be the perfect elevator speech or recommended elevator speech, we want one volunteer to kind of give their spiel in 30 seconds or less about their business. So do we have anyone that's willing to volunteer? Not all at once now. How about Asha? I see Asha's on the line. Did you want to give your 30-second elevator speech? Okay, she might be with the client as well.
Call someone else.
What about Kristen? I don't think I've met Kristen before.
I'm here, but give me 1 sec. I'm finishing up one thing. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Kristen, did you want to give your elevator pitch?
I don't have one prepared because I'm looking to start a new business, but I can share. Hello, everyone. My name is Kristen Johnson, and I'm looking to start a podcast business that's coaching for 9-to-5ers who are looking to create impact in their community outside of their 9-to-5. The business and podcast is Passion to Better, and you'll find us on YouTube and on Anchor.
That was good to me. That was great. Thank you so much. I haven't met you before, so did you put any of your information? You don't have the podcast yet, or you're looking to start it?
I did put my information in. I have all the infrastructure. We're recording now, but it hasn't been launched. So right now I'm waiting. I've completed my fictitious business name. And so I just need to have that, published and wait the 30 days to create my EIN. I've had a business before, actually, for 10 years, had an event planning business. And so now I'm just trying to transition into something else that speaks a little more to my passion.
Welcome, and thank you for sharing. That sounds like a really amazing idea, and it's needed. So with that, Ernesto is going to share components that he feels should go into an elevator pitch, which I feel like Kristen did touch on a lot of those topics. So I'll let Ernesto go into how we feel people should actually put their elevator speech together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that was a great job, Kristen. Thank you so much for volunteering. I know it's kind of hard, but elevator pitch should include a lot of components that you mentioned, but most important, as you see on the right hand side of the screen, is the golden circle, which we'll consider as why, how, and what. So you want to start with your why. You want to start from the inner side of the circle to the outwards. You don't want to tell them what you do, how you do, and why you do it. You want more go why you doing what you're doing, how you do it, and what you're doing. So why should be, why is the purpose you're in business? Why you get out of bed every day, kind of thing. The how is more the organizations, like what's the factors that might include your strengths or values that you feel that make yourself different from yourself, from your competitors. And the what is pretty much evident, like what exactly do you do? Do you sell TVs, you have a clothing store, and so on. So the golden circle, the reason for this is that you want to grow. People do business with what if they like you, they trust you. So if they like your why, your reason why you're in business, more than likely they're going to become a customer. And that is one of the main reasons why you want to do that. If they understand your mission, why you're in business for, even if you might not have the cheapest product or maybe not the best quality, but you're, substantial. Of course, your quality can be like super bad, but as long as you're competitive, or if you're competitive, if the same price point as someone else, if they believe more in your why, they'll go with you. An example can be if I go to like Apple computers, if they go from the out going in of the golden circle, all they will say is that we make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use and user-friendly, want to buy one. So it's a little bit uninspiring. Then if you start with your why, and they're starting with their why with Apple computers, they say everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use and user-friendly. And we happen to make great computers, want to buy one. So how does that sound? I think that sounds a little bit more inspiring, motivating. So that's some of the things to think about. Always think about that when you're creating your elevator pitch. And all businesses should have at least a quick 30-second elevator pitch, and then build that into something a little bit longer whenever you have to do a presentation, maybe like a 2-minute pitch, but 30-second, and then you should have at least those components for a quick elevator pitch. And
Did you want me to take over this one, Ernesto?
sure, you can start with that.
And so for those that are still, kind of figure out, okay, I know what components or what questions to ask in an elevator pitch, but I still don't really know how to define my business. There are some strategies to also really define your business, because for those that are in business or thinking about going into business, once you define your business story, your elevator pitch, you can look at that as like your executive summary. So first you have to figure out what your business story is. So some things that you want to look at are, why are you in business? What problem are you looking to solve? I think Kristen did a great job of explaining why she was going to do the podcast and what it was serving the community, and who was her target population, those working a 9-to-5. So we got her why in her elevator speech. And so how you do that is, why am I in business? What problem am I looking to solve? How am I going to solve this problem? From there, you have to figure out who is your customer. Who are you going to be able to help the most with this type of business? And what's your unique selling proposition? What makes you stand out from competition? And the LA South Chamber has a lot of other amazing workshops as well, where we dig deeper into that, such as with the customer centricity series. So just figuring out who your customer is, and then also knowing your weaknesses is very important to know, what are the weaknesses in your business. And so in other webinars that we do through LA South Chamber is we look at what's called a SWOT analysis. So we won't get into that, but that stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so in that webinar, you can really dive into the SWOT of your business and going through those components. And this is really a high level overview, but if you kind of go into those different components, it'll help you to understand your business story. You'll be able to define it. And from there, you should be able to easily create an elevator pitch using the golden circle. So hopefully you guys have pen and pad and are taking notes if you are just getting started. And hopefully this information is useful to you. And so with that, we want to kind of go into which business formation is right for you. Kristen mentioned doing her DBA. So I want to take this time for those that are already in business, are looking to start, just kind of briefly overview the different types of business. So when the pandemic and all the PPPs and everything were going on, we kept hearing sole proprietor. And a lot of people didn't understand what that meant. A sole proprietor is someone in business for themselves themselves. They can be DBA, which is doing business as, and that's something you publish at the county level. There's really no legal protection. You can also be a sole proprietor with an LLC, which is a limited liability company, and that comes with legal protection. It separates you, the individual, from your business. But in both cases, a DBA and an LLC could both fall under a sole proprietor if you're in business by yourself. Other business structures would be a C Corp or an S Corp. You'll normally see that larger businesses will go for C Corp or S Corp, and that's simply because there's a lot more involved. They're a little bit more complicated. They are legally protected, but when it comes to how you do your business taxes, you'll find that people in business for themselves tend to go with, a DBA or an LLC just because the structuring is easier. And when it's time to file taxes, it tends to be less expensive. Another business formation would be a nonprofit. If you feel that your business falls under the IRS guidelines of a business that doesn't have to pay federal taxes, then you would structure your business as a nonprofit. So these are the different type of businesses that someone can form, and it all depends on, what type of industry you're in, what you're doing, and most importantly, how you plan to structure your business taxes. Any questions about that one? If you do have any, we can put them in the chat and I can answer them, or Ernesto.
I
Yeah,
didn't have a question. I did want to add a comment though. Because I've done a little research on this, and you can start as a sole proprietor, DBA, and then switch to like an LLC. So
Correct. The only difference is every time you change your business structure, you do have to get a new EIN number or tax ID number. So for those that want to have like the longevity and build credit on their tax ID, you don't want to, change your structure too often, because if you're, in business for 10 years and decide, I want to be an LLC now, new business structures require a new tax ID. Because you're going from a business that maybe wasn't legally protected to one that now is. So the IRS will have you to update or create a new EIN.
did you mention anything on partnerships, DBAs?
So along with sole proprietors, a partnership can also be a DBA or an LLC. It's just two or more people coming together to do business. Like I said, at the county level, where you're publishing your DBA and you're putting it in the newspaper for 30 days, or you can do it as an LLC where you're legally protected, you're recognized at the state level, and a partnership just is two or more people that are going into business as opposed to a sole proprietor.
So securing your name.
Now that also goes into securing your name. So once you figure out what business structure is right for you, you want to also make sure you secure your name. So like I said, with a sole proprietor, if you want to just do business as, so you have your first and last name, but you want to do business under another name, the county will say, hey, you have to let us know what name you're doing business under. And so you'd file that at the county level. I know during the pandemic, the courthouse was closed. To my knowledge, they're still closed. And so it was taking about 60 days to get a name clearance. But once the courthouse opens back up, that's something you can do same day. And so you just want to check with your whatever county you're in. If it's not LA County, other counties will do it electronically online. Some courthouses are open in other counties, but just speaking for LA County, the courthouse was closed and there was a 2-month wait when it used to be instant where you can get your DBA. Other ways to secure your name is on the California Secretary of State website, you can search LLCs, corporations, or nonprofits and see if anyone in your state has your name. So an LLC and a corporation name is protected at the state level. A DBA name is only protected at the county level. So let's say someone had a DBA called Sugars and Sweets in LA County. If I wanted to take that name at the state level and make it an LLC, I can still have that name. But once I form it as an LLC, no one in California can have that name. And then a trademark is more of a nationwide protection. So once you have a trademark, that's your brand, your logo, your image. It can also have your business name in it, but that actual image is protected in whatever industry you're in across the nation. And so it doesn't legally protect your business. It protects your brand. So one way to look at it is if you have a storefront and someone comes into your business and, you know, they hurt themselves, you want to make sure you have business insurance, right? If someone says, I believe you stole my idea and they wanted to take legal action, that LLC protects you against that. A DBA doesn't provide that protection. Whereas a trademark, when someone sees that trademark, you want them to identify with your business and your business only, so that someone in Illinois can say, hey, you know, Linda's business is doing really well. I want to take her brand and her logo and kind of make my business look so similar to hers that someone in Illinois may think I'm the same Linda Sam from LA. So that's what a trademark protects, your actual branding, imaging, and logo. And so those are the ways to secure your name at the county level, at the state level, and then if you're doing a trademark at the national level. And Ernesto will speak more to your domain and social media handles.
Yeah, so nowadays, and especially with the pandemic, or if we have another shutdown, everybody's going digital. And that was already the trend, but just moving at a much faster rate now. So make sure whenever you have a name, a business name, you already cleared the name with the state or with the city, depending on your business formation, to get your domain name as soon as possible. Even if you don't have a website, at least you secure your domain name. A good resource is GoDaddy, GoDaddy.com. There's several other, you can always Google domain name registrar, and you will see there's a few other companies that also provide registration for domain names. The same thing goes with your social media handles. Even if you're not using those social media accounts for now, make sure you signed up, at least secure the name. The most important ones currently are, I mean, things changes, but currently it will be Facebook page, Instagram handle, Twitter name. And then if you want to go a little farther, you can also go like Snapchat name, TikTok name, so and YouTube also. Make sure you get a YouTube channel, but you won't be able to secure a name on YouTube until you get at least 100 followers. So that's another thing on that. And next, going back to the trademark.
And I just wanted to acknowledge, we saw all the questions in the chat. Keep them coming and we will address all of them at the end. So we did see those. So should I trademark? A lot of clients always ask me, should I trademark? And so first I want people to understand what a trademark is. It's a word, a symbol, a phrase, or a design that will distinguish your business from any other company. So if you have a catchy slogan, you know, a really cool design, a phrase, anything like that, and you want to make sure it's protected because you're getting, you know, clientele nationwide, and you want to make sure that you're recognized not only locally, but nationwide, then yes, it's important to get a trademark if you do have a client base outside of your state. And again, it does not provide legal protection. It just provides your brand awareness and your brand and logo protection against competitors. A competitor can't pretend like they're the same business as yourself and, you know, get your clients kind of through falsely seemingly like they're connected to you in some way because they're using similar words, symbols, or phrases. So that's what it protects you from. And it also builds trust with you and your clients. When they see that brand, they know that it's you, and they know that they can trust it. So whether you expand, whether you franchise, whether you start hiring help, when people see that trademark, they'll know I'm in good hands with this company. So that's the importance of a trademark. What a trademark is not. Like I said, it's not an LLC. It doesn't provide legal protection. It's not a copyright, which you would see more so with music. It's not a patent, which you would see more with an invention. So it's not anything to do with inventions or songwriting, you know, script writing, anything of that nature. It's simply word, symbol, phrase, or design that represents your company. And so the advantages, again, we said it protects you from your competitors. It builds trust with clients and customers. However, the cons are that it is a very tedious government procedure. It can get very expensive. If you have a common design or a common phrase, it's a likelihood that it's already been taken. It's a likelihood that it could be rejected. And the government does not refund you once you put all your application in for your trademark. If your information is incorrect or they deny it, they won't give you your money back. And so it can be expensive. And the process could take anywhere from 6 weeks to 12 months. And so I do assist people with trademarks, but sometimes if they're too complicated, I always recommend getting a trademark attorney, someone who specializes in this and does it day in and day out. Because like I said, it's very tricky. And if you have something more common, you will see that it'll be very hard to get that trademark approved.
And a few things also on trademark that I always get from new customers or new people that are just starting their business. They usually want to trademark right away their logo. And something I would suggest is, unless you're going on a national level, or you've been already in business for a while, for maybe over a year, then I would suggest that you go to trademark. And that's because, as Diana mentioned, it's expensive. It can become expensive. So in a new business, you're still not really sure if you're really going to stick to that logo or if you want to make changes. So since you usually make changes pretty frequently, you want to have something that already kind of established, and then you make your trademark. And then also, if you plan to expand, then you want to do a trademark, because you're expanding, doing business in other states and even other countries. Then of course you need to trademark. Note that I believe you need to be trademarked in, like, if you're going to do business in Europe, you need to get trademark over there as well.
International trademark.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the US trademark is only protected in the United States, so you have to do it every country you want to do business with.
Right. So companies like a McDonald's or Walmart, or I don't know if Walmart's international, but the McDonald's is going to have an international trademark, of course. And just to put everything that Ernesto said into perspective in a real life example, everything he said is so on point. I started my first business. If I would have tried to trademark that logo, I realized that I didn't want to do that business. At Beauty and Brains kind of came from that business. What I liked about that business, what I found myself doing the most in that business was consulting. I was in the beauty industry. And so consulting beauticians, people who didn't want to do the paperwork. I transitioned into this business. My first logo, I thought it was cute. And then I met a graphic designer that said, "What is this?" And I said, "I don't know, it's cute, right?" He makes a new logo for me. And I go, "Okay, I really like this." So thinking about trademarking before protecting your business, before really establishing your business, I would have paid for 3 trademarks by now. Luckily, took my time, focused on legally protecting the business. Now I'm ready to trademark my logo, and now I'm ready to expand into different states. So, that's a total of 5 years before I'm ready to trademark. So just looking at it from that perspective, legally, you got everything established right away. That's important. But I'm 5 years in, and I'm just now looking at trademarking my own business. So I hope that puts things into perspective for some of us. And we can talk a little bit about business licenses and insurance. We do have our LA South Chamber Small Business Insurance member on the phone. I believe Asha Stokes, who's in the office right now working. So hopefully she can speak in a second. But a lot of people get confused when they say a tax registration certificate. It all depends on what city you're in. So if they want a business tax registration certificate, it's the same thing as a business license. Most cities will want either or. And so it's important to find out what your city will request. So for example, my first business was in West Hollywood. We had to do a tax registration certificate. My business now, the city I'm in, I'm required to have a business license. So you want to make sure that whether it's at the county level or the city level, you're looking into what the requirements are to have a business license. The fees vary. It depends on your industry, depends on your city, but you want to look into that information, because you don't want to wait until you're ready to do an event. Most of the time, business license issues come up when someone's trying to do an event in their city, whether they're outside or they want to be a part of an expo or what have you, or even in other cities. They always require you a business license or some type of permit to do any type of business in that city. So it's very important that you find out what those requirements are and get those. Also, business insurance. There are three main types, even though, you know, that's an expansive subject on its own. I'm not into insurance, but like I said, we do have a member on the phone that is. But the main types of insurance you want to look into as a small business owner is general liability to protect your business, business income insurance, so that if you're unable to work your business, you can still receive income. And then, of course, commercial property insurance. So if you sell products or you make products, you want to make sure that that stuff is properly insured. So it's very important that once you establish your business to make sure you have insurance for it. And then the last subject we wanted to touch on this is a registered agent. A lot of people are confused as to what a registered agent is. Most of the time it's a lawyer or a California corporate agent. You'll see it'll say, and basically that's someone who anything that happens with your business, they are the point of contact. So when you think of bigger companies like I said, a McDonald's, a Walmart, a Starbucks, they're going to have lawyers as their registered agent because every day someone has fallen in their store or gotten food poisoning or felt like they, you know, something happened that they weren't happy with and they're threatening to sue or there's something going on. So they need a lawyer to kind of go through all of that. What I recommend with new businesses and small business owners, you want to spend money and invest in your business and kind of save money on things you don't necessarily need. So as a new business owner, you won't be getting that much mail. You probably won't be getting that many people looking to contact you. So you can be your own registered agent. And again, that just means you're the point of contact. All the mail, all the phone calls, all the emails will come to you. Even if someone was trying to sue you, that notice, the process of service will come to you. And then from there, you might want to go find a lawyer and see what to do next. But you don't want to pay anybody in the beginning just to be your point of contact when you can probably manage that yourself in the beginning. Now, if you find yourself getting busier and bigger and expanding, then I would recommend having an attorney to be your registered agent.
Mhm. And we also got Zasha Stokes. We also got Miss B. They're both on the line, actually. But they
Yes, and
work
Miss
on
B,
insurance.
yes, Miss B works with Legal Shield too. It's very important to have, you know, a contact with legal advice, especially when you're in business for yourself. It's one thing to get your business legally protected, but as legal issues do come about, you want to make sure that you can contact somebody like Miss B and get that Legal Shield protection. And if she wants to speak to that, I'll let her have the floor. You're on mute. Oh, there we go.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We offer legal, excuse my voice. We offer Legal Shield at affordable rates for small businesses. And you have access to a law firm. So any business issue that you're going to, you can speak to an attorney to get expert advice. All the attorneys have over 19 years of experience and they specialize in all aspects of the law. So if you're interested, my information is in the chat. So contact me and I would love to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. B. And I know that Asha is actually in the State Farm office that her and her husband have in Carson. So I'm sure she's with clients, but she did drop her information in the chat. So if you want to know more about small business insurance, you can contact her directly. She is always working and in that office. So that may be why she is away right now. So her information is in the chat. And so if you need to follow up with her, you can. That is
for questions. If
I would say
anybody,
that is the conclusion. So we can go through let me go to the
I
top.
think Linda has a question. Is there a way to partner two businesses that have commonality?
Yes. Why is the name slipping my mind? What is that called? It's called, I've seen it before. It'll come to me. So you'll have a business where maybe someone sells coffee and someone else sells desserts and they decide to go into kind of like a co-op together and they open a business together and it's called, why can't I think of the name? It'll come to me. But yes, you can do that. And when it clicks in my brain, I'll tell you what it's called. But two businesses can come together, so they can both be legally formed separately and come together and work together in business if they're, if they complement each other, or if their business are common and they want to go in together. It's called a it's not called a co-op. I'll think of it.
Okay. When you think about it, let us know. There's another question also by Linda.
Joint venture. Sorry, a joint venture. Yeah, it's a joint venture.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Linda? Linda-san?
So just to reiterate, it's when two separately formed businesses come together and work together, they come together under a joint venture. So they're all their own business, but they can come and work together. And you'll see, I've seen storefronts like that. And like I said, someone may make a certain type of food and it complements a certain type of drink or a certain type of dessert, and they'll do a joint venture, restaurant together. But it's two separately formed businesses coming together, and it's called a joint venture. There we go.
Well, Ms. B, if you can put your information again, because I think you put in the beginning of the webinar, and people that join after, they can't see your contact. Someone's asking. And I think Linda also is asking when we're going to have the webinar defining the SWOT. So for that, anybody that's interested in that, please follow LA South Chamber, and also on Instagram, the LA South Connections. And we are working on that, and we'll definitely announce it on those channels. So if you're following LA South Connections, you definitely get all the information, all the new webinars that are coming up in the new program.
So that actually came from the customer centricity webinar where Beauty and Brains collaborated with Asha Stokes. And right now we're getting ready for the small business takeover. And so those webinars have kind of been postponed, but they will come back up. And we're really looking, all of us, Ernesto, everyone included, of doing more in-person training where we can do more, customized and one-on-one trainings as it pertains to the SWOT, customer centricity, and even, this series with just turning your hustle into a business. So we will get those dates and post them on the site soon.
Okay. Anybody else has any questions? You don't have to put in the chat. You can just unmute yourself and ask.
I thought I saw another one. Was it just to define the SWOT? Is that the one I saw already? When is the webinar? Oh, got it. Yeah, that was the one.
No, I guess not. Okay. Well, with that,
I'm sorry, did y'all ask for me or something? I was on mute.
oh, we did. We want to make sure that you got your questions answered.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Tell me.
Yana, you want to go ahead and tell her?
Sure. So just to reiterate, the SWOT analysis, for your business, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats came from the customer centricity webinar that Beauty and Brains did in collaboration with Asha Stokes. The new dates will be on the website, LA South Chamber website soon. They're just delayed right now because Asha is putting together the Small Business Takeover, which is a small business expo on July 25th. So that's consuming a lot of our time right now. It was an amazing event in 2019. It was an amazing event in 2019. The pandemic slowed it down, and now we're coming back in 2021 with that. So once we have that taken care of, we'll have some new dates where we have customer centricity and include SWOT in those webinars. And also looking to do more in person where we can do one-on-one and really customize that SWOT to your business, because the webinars give an overview, but to really go into how a SWOT analysis can help your business, your industry, your individual needs. We're looking to do more in-person trainings at the LA South Chambers location that we have.
Okay, and then my second question. Did y'all get to that one too?
Yes, we did. Go ahead, Diana. The
Which
joint
was the
venture.
second question.
The joint venture.
Oh, you didn't hear about the joint venture? Okay. Joint venture is when two businesses or more that are legally formed separately, they're total separate businesses, they come together if they have something, like you said, in common or that complements each other. So for example, maybe a caterer and a dessert company
Well,
or,
let me give you real lifetime.
okay,
My Married Tribe 55 plus couples only was formed in pandemic, March 2020. Then I launched Linda Sam Consulting January 2021. That's just the hustler in me. I closed out my nonprofit because I just didn't have the energy to want to do it around my jazz and blues legend and open up another nonprofit partnership with somebody else. So I want to now be able to synergize these two businesses in 2021 moving forward. Do I have to create a partnership between those two businesses? Because one's a sole prop and one's a LLC.
are they just both for, under your name, or does the LLC have a partner?
No, they're all one partner, one manager,
It's just you?
just me.
Okay, so in that situation, and I can, go in detail more one-on-one, but essentially the simple answer is yes, they can come together. An LLC acts like an umbrella of legal protection. You just have to make sure that all the businesses filed under your LLC are filed correctly. But yes, the answer is yes. People put many businesses under that one LLC, and it forms, like I said, an umbrella of protection. And so, Linda, we can talk offline about how exactly you would have to do that. I'd have to look at your structuring, but the simple answer is yes.
Let's do it. Send me an appointment.
Yes, okay, I'll send you my information in the chat. Oh, it's right
On
there.
the screen, if
It's
you
on
can
the
look at the
screen.
screen, we have her information is there as well as her phone
Yeah.
number and email.
But I can definitely help you with that. And for anyone else on the line, if you open up additional businesses, if they're related, like for myself, businesses that are unrelated, I put under different LLCs because they're different industries. But if I open anything else under the realm of consulting, then I will put everything under that LLC umbrella.
Mhm. So any other questions? Well, if there's no other questions, any individual questions you like, there's my contact information. And a little bit about myself. My name is Ernesto Comodo. I think most of the people here will know me already, but my focus is small businesses. I work with small business companies and turn them into great companies, or as I would call them, small giants within their sector. So, and I focus on their marketing strategy, their branding, and their advertising, as well as like the website, web development, and the website as well. So as you see, some of the bullet points for me is helping you find your why, developing your brand, and securing your online presence, which means your website, your digital assets, and anything that's related to the online media. And you're welcome to follow me on Instagram or Twitter 907K Marketing, and check out my website 907k.com. Diana, you want to say a little about yourself?
Yes. So Beauty and Brains is a consulting business. I'm a business consultant generalist. So whether a person is looking to start a business and needs help with formation, kind of what we highlighted on this webinar, I do help with that. I also help existing businesses, whether it's business strategy. I'm an example of this weekend, a client is having issues with finding good employees. So we're putting together a job fair. So that's something I help plan. And then of course, if they want me to execute, then I can go into execution as well, which requires travel. But everything from start to finish, I assist businesses with. Like I said, trademarks, they're very time consuming. So I have been referring that out to trademark attorneys. And the only thing that I feel I don't do or don't have the expertise to do for businesses is the public relations, marketing, social media management component, which is why I come in together with Ernesto, 907K Marketing, and LA South Chamber was a perfect mesh, because I don't, that's a whole other world that marketing and PR and social media. So kudos to you, Ernesto. I just like to stick with forming, business strategy and executing the plan. So those are my strengths, and that's what I stick with.
Perfect. So, what happened here? So if you guys will invite all of you to join us for a second one, which is going to be Show the World on July 30th, 2021. We're going to be talking a little bit more in depth now about forming, after you form your business, what you do, which is basically creating your business plan, how to create a budget, how to create a brand, and your marketing strategy. Very important foundational items that you need after, as soon as you create your form your business. So please join us on July 30th, 2021. The link is there. I can also probably put it in the chat if anybody wants to register now. It is available for registration.
Yes, and I was gonna say, even with the business plan, we talk a lot about that in that webinar, but it's still not everything. The business plan is very important and it'll forever be recreated and redesigned. So for anybody in business, that's a really good one, or starting a business, this will be a really good webinar to attend to kind of get your, your plan down on paper,
Mhm.
your master plan. Yeah, I call it. I'm always rewriting mine.
How many of you guys have a business plan? Can you just raise your hand? One? No, more of you have business plan.
Telling you, it's just an arduous task. A lot of people don't like dealing with it. I'm one of them.
It is. And once you're in business for a while, also a business plan is not something that's static. So make sure if you haven't revised your business plan, try to revise at least once a year.
Absolutely. And I was gonna just say too, it's hard. I mean, we'll get into it on the next webinar, but it's just so hard, I think, when you're in business because you're so sensitive. It's your passion, it's your baby. You want everything to be perfect. And so we find ourselves, kind of getting writer's block or getting stuck when we're trying to define our business. So, and Ernesto and LA South, putting this together, I hope it really helps with this 3-part series, but really figuring out, how to form your business, how to define it, what goes in your business plan. That's really the goal of everything we're doing, is to help you kind of pull those things out.